You're taking bets on how late I'm gonna be is insane. Man. It's song of the fucking year, bro. It's song of the I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm gonna be honest, okay? There's a very special time in my life, okay? There's a year in my life that I probably will forever. I hope when they make the movie, it's the first year that they cover, and it's the year I look back on so fondly, okay? 2024 is a year I look back on so fondly. And the album of that year was Frank playing this Ken Carson album, A Great Chaos, off of his Mac all day, every day for the entire year. It was the best, one of the best years of my life. and I fucking hated it. I hated it. I hated every song. I could not stand this album. I hated every song except for Mewtwo. And Coco, see, she feel. I hated every song in this album. I thought it was gay, whack, lame. I hated it. And then something in me just evolved over the last 3 months. My brain chemistry just fused together. My frontal cortex fully developed. And all of a sudden, I look at this album and just think to myself, it is maybe the greatest rap album ever. Ever. Like, I don't know what happened. I just woke up one day and I heard this song. El Catcher. I heard this and I just like, and I woke up and I looked around. I blinked a couple times, closed my eyes. I rubbed them and I look at Frank. He looks at me and I can see again. And it was like, oh, chills. Unreal, man. Ken Carson, one of the greatest albums ever. I love it. I listened to, dude, I was hanging out with this girl the other day. It was a Friday night and it was really late. And we're just like laying on the couch, hanging out. There's a bunch of people here having like a little kickback. And nobody's talking and there's not music playing. There's just like something on the TV. And I'm sitting here with a drink in my hand on this couch and I'm just on repeat. Bigger than the law and going back to jail. Yeah, yeah. Fuck 12. Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know. I'm just singing it on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat in my head for like an hour, sitting on this couch on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. I'm laying in bed. My eyes are closed. I'm just rockstar lifestyle. Yeah, I've been off the drugs. Rockstar lifestyle. Yeah. All day, every day. It's fucking incredible. Shout out to Ken Carson. Welcome back to the stream, by the way. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's so good to see your beautiful faces. It's so good to see so many beautiful people here. It's a Friday. You know how Fridays go. Fridays are a little bit. I've started looking at stream week, and I think you should look at the work week like a playoff series. Okay, it's a best of 5 series. Okay, and your goal is to win 3 games. You win the series of 3 games. Okay, there's no added benefit to sweeping. There's no benefit to sweeping. Your goal should be to win 3 games, and that's my goal every week. I think we won 3 games this week. Do you think Ken fell off? Absolutely. Pretty sad, but I'll be honest. I didn't even care about him before the fall off, so it doesn't really bother me. I just look like have this one album, and I look at it with hearts in my eyes, and I love it, and I'm grateful for it, but I don't really care. Like, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm not upset that he fell off because I didn't really care about him before. So we have a lot to talk. I'm going to be honest. We actually have a lot to talk about today. You watched The Professor again? No, I haven't watched a Professor video in a while. What's good, Eli's? Bro, what, he didn't fall off? I mean, he objectively fell off. I don't know what to tell you. Like, as much as I would love to, like, there to be, you know, it's one of these things, like, I think I am going to comment on World Liberty Fi. I think one of the scariest things in the world as a creative is making a you know, the equivalent of like a platinum album. Making a masterpiece is a pretty scary thought, because the thing that now matters after you make a masterpiece is, can you make something better? It's a pretty scary thing. Like, you're bound to your biggest hit for basically forever. And I think it's tough for musicians too, because it's like you build a masterpiece and that's 20 years later and they're like, yo, like, sing that shit from 20 years ago. And they're like, bro, I got all this new, nah, sing Power. You know, like it's like a curse. You make something so good. That's probably how I'm gonna feel about some of these streams, by the way. Is we're gonna be like looking back at the fucking early, like, Friday 70K BTC the oil streams, and they'll be like, make a stream as good as the Monday after I took weekend profits on oil and talked on a full cam for 2.5 hours. Make a stream not good. And I'm like, I don't know if I can. I'll make trades much bigger, and I'll make P&Ls much higher, and I'll make all types of stuff. better in comparable scale. But relatively, will I ever do a stream better than that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You know, I think about this a lot. Will I ever do a stream better than that Monday stream? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really care, honestly, because I think it's etched. I think it's etched. I think this era that we're living in is like, okay, I was thinking about this the other day. We'll do roll call in a minute. We'll start the stream. I've been listening to a lot of Stanley Druckenmiller because I'm pretty obsessed with him because he's not like a math guy. He's a real ball tingle guy, which I really like because I'm a ball tingle guy, and I feel like you can replicate ball tingle. And one of the things about ball tingle is you develop it after 20, 30 years in the market, right? Like a long time. And so I think about this a lot where I'm like, damn, I've been trading basically all day for like 4 years. I'm 24. And so when I'm 30, I'll have been trading basically all day, every day for 10 years. And so that means I'll be 40 with 20 years of trading experience. That's filthy. At that point, you're a ball tingle guy. You're nasty. And so we're sort of just stacking. It very much is a math equation, I think, on a lot of this. We're very much like stacking the years. And so we're going to be, like, everyone here is you're probably going to be nasty. 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Because you're just past my prop firm eval today. Be careful with that shit. Be careful with that. But your ball tingle in 10 years, congrats though. Your ball tingle in 10 years is going to be elite. But I think we still look back on the like early days when our ball tingle was a little bit novice with like, wow, I was making bread in that era. How is that even possible? That's what I think it's going to feel like, really. I'm a big ball tingle guy. DNAP, send the JE clip. So that's where we're at. We're going to talk a lot today. I got a lot of intro stuff I want to cover. Do ball tingles still work with ED? Dude, I'm thinking about this with the Hims hair pills. Is like if I'm taking these hair pills for Hims, the finasteride, and it lowers my T, is it gonna hurt my ability to trade? I'm thinking maybe. I'm actually genuinely concerned about this. I'm genuinely concerned. Is the finasteride gonna hinder my ability to be a profitable trader? Like, what if the balls don't tingle the same? I don't really know. Could be a thing, could not be a thing. I'll let you know in about 6 months. But all right. Roll call, baby. Caleb, what's good? Book of Crypto, what's good? Wavy, what's good? What about your D? I have a take on that, by the way. You're talking about ED. I can give you I have a great take on it. Kevin, what's good? Live the Life TV. Kenny, what's good? GG Jackson, what's good? God, it's moved too fast. TW Sherbert. I can't even read. Poca, what's good? Eli's, what's good? Pre-Rich, Tom Brady, what's good? Moncock Maxi, what's good? Hey! First chatter. Lon here. First, fuck the kids. Jerry, what's good? Poca, Booty Watcher back in the house. Mr. Cavs, what's good? 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 Rex, what's good? Bro, you're like 24. Your testosterone can't get any higher. I mean, yeah, but it can get lower. Like, it can definitely get lower. Cole, what's good? Casey, what's good? Young Spoon, what's good? I don't think you would ever want to willingly lower your T, but I think it's one of these things where it's like you gotta it's basically a math equation, which is like, how much does the hair matter for your ability to use your T, if you know what I'm saying? Like, there is like a equilibrium somewhere. It's just on you to find it, right? How much hair do you need to keep, and for how long? Thought I wouldn't be doing the prop firm of market and current financial market force be similar to oil trade. Brother, I'm rooting for you, Rockefeller. I'm fucking rooting for you, my boy. I'm absolutely rooting for you. Blasting T is normie. No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. I will not be taking T until I absolutely have to. I'm 35. I take it for 3 years. It's in your head. The finasteride? Damn, so you're just like ripping at 35. That's crazy. Sachs, what's good? Chill guy in zero, bro. Pump has been nice. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? What? What are you saying? Zero, bro? Dog, what did you just say on the stream? Are you trolling? Brother, it's 2026. What year do you think it is? I talked about 2024 and he's fucking talking about Zerebro, and what are you saying? Is it pumping? Bro, what did you just say? I mean, I guess. Bruh. I buy lows and sell highs. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Chill guy. Neat looks sick. Shout out to Neat guys. I'm big fans. I mean, I guess. This shit makes me so fucking bearish. Shout out the Neat guys, man. They're really entertaining. They deserve it. These guys grind. Yeah, shout out the Neat guys. These guys really grind. All right, we have a lot to talk about today. I want to do some intro stuff. I'm gonna start slow today. I'll get to my oil trades driving me crazy in the immediate future. Also, I'm gonna rip tonight, Friday night. I've made a new rule. Like I really believe this as a trader and as a streamer. I think Friday night, even though we're like we're not incels, but you should go out on Friday night. I think you should try to do it. I'm telling you, I did this thing for 3 years, and I was like, I'm a grinder. I don't go out. I probably did it for more than 3 years. Like the day I dropped out of college through 2025, I did it for like 4 years straight. I didn't talk to anybody. I did nothing, and all I did was also, I don't know if you've seen in the pit a while ago. My buddy in the Marines got an email saying, "Are you ready to fight?" Do you have it? How long ago? Would rather just smoke hash at home. All right, hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. And then we'll start the stream. Hear me out on this. I did this for 4 years. 4 years. By the way, I'm not ready to fight. I'm just going to like keep it a full stack. If anyone was curious, I'm absolutely not ready to fight. I did this for 4 years, okay? I didn't go out at all. And all I did was smoke weed, like copious. Like my whole come up on Twitter, by the way, like learning how to tweet and doing this was like really high. Like I was just high. I was just smacked like all the time. I was smacked. I was burnt. I haven't said that in a while. I was burnt. Like I straight up was burnt for 4 years. Like up through mid 2024. I was 21, probably 2020 to 2024. When I went to college to 24, I was just burnt. Like exclusively, I'm talking burnt. Like I used to wake up in GTA. I don't know. I feel like I look like I smoked. Like I used to wait, bro. I'm telling you, I used to when I went on my real run, NFT bull run, and really like blew up on Twitter. I would wake up. First thing I would do is I would grab my computer. I would draft some like fake tweets for 5 minutes. I would tweet, write a couple tweets, get in the flow of tweeting. I would take my Rick and Morty bong. I had this like bong. It was like this big. It was huge. It was like it was huge. This big ass Rick and Morty bong, and bong rip. Go in my boy's room. He was doing schoolwork. I was tweeting. Close the door. Throw on some Drake, and then I'm tweeting all day, bro. I was burnt for 4 years. Okay, and so Friday night will come, and like I could have maybe gone out. I was in a frat. And I was just burnt all day. And it was like time to go out, and I'd be like, no, I'm working. But I low-key could have gone out. Like, I had to be out of the social scene though. Like, how many tweets a day? I was tweeting 6,000 times a month was my quota. 6K tweets a month. And so like 25 original tweets a day, something like 25, 30 original tweets a day. And then the rest would be replies, but I would like try my replies. It wasn't like slop. Like I wasn't tweeting GM at people. I was like really, it was basically like a tweet every 5 minutes for like 2 years. Okay. And getting virgin vibes. Do I look like a virgin, bro? And so I'm telling you, I did this all day, every day. I was straight up burnt for 4 years and didn't go out ever and like completely cut it off. And I'm telling you that my life just got better when I stopped being fried and I started forcing myself out on Fridays. It's kind of like a new thing. But I'm sort of like, okay, if you go fucking rip on a Friday, yes, you wake up Saturday's kind of ruined. Fair. And it's kind of expensive. Also fair. But you get like a serotonin reset. You get a complete serotonin reset. And then when it comes time to lock in on Sunday, you have like an extra angst about you to do it. And you have some real life adjustment. You don't get fully like 5K P&L feels like 5K P&L when you go out on Friday. Okay? If you're in a raging bull market, and you haven't seen the sun in like 3 months, it feels like a number on a screen. It doesn't even feel real. It feels real when you go swipe at the bar. Okay? And so you have to do it. I'm telling you, you have to do it. And so that's my rationale. That's my long-winded way of saying, like, Saturday, tomorrow is going to be a complete wash. And tonight is also going to be a complete wash. If anything important happens, I'm out of commission. If anyone needs me to do something smart, I can't do it. If I have an important call, I'm not making it. And I feel like my life has gotten better since I cut the grind. Monday through Friday, you fucking grind. And Sunday afternoon, you grind. Saturday is a wash because you went hard on Friday. And Sunday morning is to walk, go to the gym, get a breakfast, and then you can start working. You got, in my opinion, you got to turn Saturday into a wash. Monday doesn't rest. Yeah. But if you're completely miserable, then it's cooked. I'm telling you, I was miserable. What's your drink of choice? We have a stream to do. I got to focus. I have to focus. But that's my long-winded way of saying, also, stop being burnt. I'm telling you, I was burnt for 4 years. Stop being burnt. It kills you. You're not making money as a trader when you're burnt. Okay? It makes you make retarded. You know what I've learned? Is when you're high, you can't sell. Nobody that's high sells, ever. You round trip everything when you're high. Straight up. You round trip everything. I haven't smoked weed in almost a year. Full. I haven't smoked weed in almost a full year, bro. And my life has just like, I basically stopped smoking weed right when we started Counterparty. Right when we started Counterparty in like June, I stopped smoking weed. You could do anything else, but the weed that's some low T shit, bro. That is some low T shit. It smells bad. It doesn't look cool. You didn't sell because you were burnt. I'm telling you. You didn't sell because you round trip the meme coin, not because it was a bad coin. You round trip because you were burnt. I'm telling you, I was burnt for 4 years, bro. Straight. Like straight. I know we have crypto to talk about. I'm going to get there. 4 years straight, bro. All day, every day. Mom, you're probably listening. I know I told you I smoked a little bit. I was burnt, bro. I really was. I was burnt. I went to college. No one smoked weed in high school. The second I get to college campus, all of a sudden, it's just like everyone, bro. Richmond, Virginia, everyone is just burnt, bro. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like, Richmond, Virginia, nobody wanted to party. Nobody wanted to drink. Nobody wanted to go out. Everybody wanted to smoke, bro. You went to UVA? Absolutely not. I was not getting into UVA. So all this is in GTA, and video games, and that's where I'm at. I'm just telling you, bro, my life as a trader evolved when I stopped. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's mostly what I got. Also, I'll tell you this too. I had nightmares about... All right, let's focus. We have something to talk about. Market close just happened. Oil looks like absolute shit. And I'm a little bit tilted about the trade because I think I'm right, but the market's telling me I'm wrong. Tao had this... Weed made him round trip goat. By the way, I'm not trolling. Weed did make me round trip goat. Because it's like, bro, think about it. I'm fried. And I'm looking at the market cap of GOAT, and I'm thinking to myself, $1 billion is not that high. But I'm smacked. But I'm looking at $1 billion on GOAT, and I'm like, what's the market cap of Solana? Look at it, 130 billion. All right, how high did SafeMoon go? 10 billion. All right, how high did Dogecoin go? 69 billion. I'm like, all right, what's the first AI coin ever going to be worth? $1 billion sounds cheap. Bong rip, slam more, buy the whole way down. I'm probably $1 million richer if I never smoked weed, honestly. But it's part of the lore. It's part of the lore, so it doesn't allow you to sell. Anyways, I'll never forget. By the way, Base16Z made this tweet. Last thing. Is he made this tweet and was like, these AI coins are all at $1 billion. How high can they go? I reply, 10. Like, of course, I don't know, 15. What does it even mean? Like, what does the number even mean? It's just like a number. None of it's real. Cerebro's at 800 mil. Goat's at 1.2 billion. What does the number even mean? It means nothing. It's just like I don't know. I'm doing high math, bro. I'm doing high math. What's a 10x from here? It's already 10x a couple times. I'm telling you, you cannot make rational decisions. And so now I'm a complete like sober brain trader exclusively, except for Friday night. My goal is to make my Saturday as miserable as possible every Friday. That's my goal. And I believe me when I tell you I'm about to succeed tonight. Anyways, let's start the stream. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to get into. We have a lot to cover. I was going to do a whole rant about AI porn, but I'm not really like that excited about it. All I'm going to say is you could probably make a lot of money long in this industry. And I actually don't think it's bad karma, but just don't work in it. You should definitely profit off the demise of society with AI porn, but you should not work on it. You can trade it, you can speculate on it, but you should not work on it. I really believe that. I don't think you should work on it. Like, you could trade OnlyFans if it was public, but you should not work on OnlyFans. I think there's a difference there. Very difference. Very, very, very different difference. All right, I want to do a rant real quick before we talk about war updates and market close. I like to go as long as I can without talking about Pete Hegseth. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, whatever, and you want to chat, Twitch TV/threadguy. I want to play this clip real quick. Because I think crypto influencers have like the worst reputation in the world in the eye of the public, and I think it's unfair. Well, it's absolutely fair, but I think it's wrong. I'm gonna play this clip for you.
Listen, it's not about how, okay, if we want to talk about striking success multiple times, I was a millionaire when I was 19, then I went broke, and then I made like a few $100,000 on my pursuit. It was like maybe $500,000 on my pursuit to like YouTube. Failed again. So it's like, how do you quantify success if it's just
I don't even
money
think you're a millionaire
3 different
now.
times? Huh?
I don't even think you're a millionaire now. The savings I have here is $391,000 total.
Oh yeah, dude. But
plus $100,000 of debt.
Pepe holdings.
300,000
in Pepe.
Well,
but no, okay.
great,
I don't know. Listen, it's not about how. Okay, if we want to talk about
$1,000 total.
Oh yeah, dude. But
plus $100,000 of debt.
Pepe holdings.
By the way, I fuck with this guy. I used to like not be. I fuck with this Caleb Hammer fellow. I think he's really entertaining. So I say to a guest, they come on. They say base case on Tau is a 300x. I say
300,000 in Pepe.
Well,
but no, okay.
Great.
I don't know.
Okay. I have a take I want to share real quick, which is that to the outside world, right? The mainstream scene, these on video influencers that are finance adjacent, like, like gambling is finance adjacent, I would say, right? And then the day trader scene. The real world looks at these guys like they're the real deal and that they're aspirational. By the way, I'm a fan of Togi. I think he's really entertaining. I think he's funny. I would love to fucking hang out with this guy. I'm just using this clip and then generalizing the whole scene. Day trading scene, gambling scene. They get like glorified in the mainstream because they only post on YouTube and they post the lifestyle, right? And to be fair, it is in the world of the incel, it is a pretty aspirational lifestyle. The cars, the Ferraris, the girls, the parties, the bottles. And then on the opposite, the crypto guys who are like incel, anonymous, mostly on Twitter, don't really get to speak for themselves in the mainstream because they have no motion, get looked at as scammer core like LARPs. When in reality, there are a ton of scammer core LARPs, but the crypto Twitter trading crowd actually moves size. I mean, I've posted some P&Ls before. We have this crude oil guy posted a $15 million P&L on oil the other day. It's just like some anonymous PFP. And the reason I thought about this, I think about this in the shower today. The reason I think Twitter is the most important platform in the world for finance is because you can't face LARP on Twitter. Because it's a platform for written thoughts. Like, you have to actually sound smart. You can't just like look smart or look rich. You don't get to really look rich on Twitter if you think about it. Because you don't really show your face. It's not video. You don't get to show cars. You have to like actually be smart. And so the best of the best live on this platform and will just forever be gatekept a little bit because they're forced to write rather than show themselves. And you can't really LARP the writing side as much. Like, you can, but then eventually your wallet gets doxxed and you're deep underwater, and then you're completely irrelevant. Everyone just like writes you off as a clown. It's actually the reason like a lot of this crowd can only speak for themselves on Twitter, and you're relatively gatekept on Twitter. The best of the best live here. And so it actually makes me feel optimistic about a lot of our traders. When you see the mega mainstream like Ferrari influencer guys And I mean, like, he's not broke. He's got $400K in a bank account, $300K. I mean, he's got $1 million, couple $1 million in cars. He got more money than I do. But it's just like a different game, and it's fascinating to see how it plays out. So that's my Togi take. They're just the best. Are just on Twitter forever. Will always be that way, and it is probably better off that way. IMO. Now, market close just happened. Before I show you the charts, which actually look shockingly good. If you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, and you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. And who's in what trade that you're holding into the weekend? Crypto longs, stock longs, calls, shorts, cash. What are you in? Highest conviction. What is it? Up or down? Will you be covering the chimpanzee civil war, brother? Of course. I'm going to get through some serious stuff first. Well, not that that's not serious, but currently down on Tau. Ugh. Tau. Ugh. Fuck. Sorry to hear that, honestly. Pepe, long Bitcoin. Nice. What's Eli's in? Eli's, what are you in? Fly, just like a needle. VV, Buckcoin. Eli's a short BB. Really? Long Soul, Luke. Of course. By the way, of course you are. Of course you're Long Soul, Luke. The worst looking coin at the moment. Moncock. Investing in ETH. ETH is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like, maybe this is super mid curve, but I'm a little bit scared of DeFi right now. I'm a little bit scared of DeFi right now because of this Anthropic stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit scared of DeFi. At first, I thought the Tau thing was a hack, and that would have been fucking terrifying. I'm a little bit scared of DeFi. I must admit. I must admit. Okay. Here's where we're at. Market close. We basically have negotiations tomorrow. JD Vance, they sent Vance to Pakistan and try to negotiate peace. Which let me see. Let me see if I missed anything real quick. Okay. And so that's what we're basically waiting on. Now, in my opinion, the market is priced in, once again, absolute peace in the Middle East situation. Yep, they sent Vance, which is like, where the fuck? I don't know where Vance has been, but they sent Vance, and the market is very much pricing in peace. Here's where we're at. S&P closed down 0.12%. Software, just horrifying, down another 3%, just getting crushed, man. Russell basically flat, Dow down half, Q's up 0.15. Crypto, VIX is down 1%. Hype looks awesome, 41. Hit a high today of like 42.2. Hype looks great. Been busy on life and all summer. Probably have to watch recaps only. Have markets been going up, or did I see a fake tweet? Markets are going up a little bit, which is scary. Oil, no, not so much, but dollar flat. Zcash 382 with a high of 394. Crazy. TJ make my day every day. Thank you, brother. Monero, not great. ETH somehow looks decent, up like 3% today. Gold down a little bit. Bitcoin 73,300. It looks fucking great. It actually looks great. It actually looks great. And then Tau, which we will get to on its own dedicated segment here, is $265. Ooh. Gross. What do we care about? Individual names. Some of the bigger ones. AMD's up like 4. NVIDIA up 2.6, carrying S&P. Amazon looks really good. Intel up 1%. Tesla up 1%. Netflix climbing. Look at Netflix chart. Let me zoom out a little bit. Netflix looks good. Looks very good. Must admit. Meta about flat. Not that much else that we care about at the moment. And then before we get to altcoin, some more individual names. What I like, Figma somehow every day did another 6%. Don't know how it's possible, but it is. Michael Burry did add to Nvidia puts. I saw that. Thanks for the heads up. Nike down 3%. Ugly. Snapchat down 3. IGV disgusting. Hims down another 1.6. Hood down another 1.3. Horrid chart. Just horrid. DoorDash down 1%. Block. Jack Dorsey down 1%. Coinbase down 1. Strategy flat. DraftKings is flat. Where is SPY puts? And then on altcoins, crazy activity. Lighter up 14%. Looks pretty good. Lighter's up 40% on news that Hyperliquid the best coin ever. Up 50% off the bottom. Fartcoin looks decent. Monad looks like insane, right? Look at this line we drew on Monad. Look how good this thing looks. Insane. Is anyone long Monad? It's, I mean, maybe the best chart in crypto right now. Or one of. I mean, it's got a long way to go, but it's doing that circle pattern. Looks great. I feel like all of CT longed Monad too, and it fucking worked. XPL, must I say, looks decent. It looks similar to Monad. Look, these two charts look very similar. Gotta admit. It's the same chart. Like the same chart. If I drew the same line, I'll draw the same line, look. It's the same chart. Same chart. Athena looks pretty good. I mean, some of these are just like down so much that like, what do you even do with them? You know, what do you even do with them? Zcash looks amazing. Jupiter, like, what do you do with these charts? What do you do with this? I don't even know. Probably run, avoid, pump fun. Ugh, I guess. Litecoin, like, what do you do with this shit? I don't know. BNB looks pretty bad actually. A lot of these look pretty terrible. Look at the Pengu Weekly. Let's see. I have a penguin shirt on. Shout out Punchy Penguins. Dude, I was talking to this girl yesterday, and she sent me a unprompted Pudgy Penguin GIF on text. I said, "Do you know what that is?" She said, "No. What is it?" So it's Pudgy Penguins. Oh, she looks decent. I can't lie. This does look decent. Like max bottomed, right? I mean, I don't know. On the weekly. I don't know. But I just don't buy these charts. Like, it's just like isn't what I like to buy. Like, what do you do with these charts? Aave, like, what do you do? Aave, you probably don't buy. I'm pretty scared of DeFi right now. And then last but not least, oil. Which I'm in a little bit of a pickle on the oil thing, can't lie. I'm extremely long oil. I have a relatively tight stop loss that I keep moving. But I've gotten paid a fuck ton in funding to stay long. And so I'm not quite free rolling, but I have a monster position open on this. I'm not going to lie. I have a monster, and it's like it's pretty cheap for me to keep it open, downside wise. But if we go much lower, I'm out because it's just a frustrating one because I think it's pretty obvious here that this should be much higher. 75, I'm out. I'm not getting to 75. I don't even know if I let myself get below 90 on this. I start to feel it under 90. I don't really want to feel it. Because they gave me so much money and funding to stay long that it lets me like get a little degenerate with it. The problem with this is like, okay, JD Vance is going to, I mean, the comments are nuts. Hasid is like, couple more months, strait's going to be closed. Trump is like, couple more months, the strait's going to be closed. I mean, it's just like, the strait is not, I mean, oil is just like a disaster. But the market is priced in peace on Saturday. And you can't really fight the market, right? Why PvP the market? So I am sitting in it. Okay, I am sitting in it for now. We'll see if I make it through the stream. But my opinion on the market positioning is Vance is going to Pakistan tomorrow. And we basically, people didn't like nuke. Oof, not a great word, huh? People didn't like dump risk into close. Market really wants to go up. Trump really wants to get out. Both of these things I agree with. I also think the market is very much pricing in war over after Vance gets to Pakistan. But I think any deviation from that outcome leads to aggressive market moves on both directions. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a pretty eventful Saturday, more than likely. I think that's one of the reasons Friday today has been pretty slow, is because it's going to be a very eventful Saturday. But we'll see what happens. We could just get into some war update stuff before we talk about the World War Chimps. Let's see what we got. Gold is kind of deviating. How is gold? I mean, look, undeniably, since the war started, Bitcoin has been super strong. Super strong. How's Bitcoin gold? Hey, look at this. Gold BTC. Let me zoom out. This is, yeah, it bottomed the day the war started. Look at this. Look at this. War starts right here. Bottom wick. That's where the war starts. Pretty impressive, honestly. That's where the war starts, right here. Pretty impressive. And so, yeah, I'm still kind of just fucking around with positions. Like, I don't have any major size on anything. I'm about to pay my taxes, which is really brutal and frustrating, and I was kind of trying to be cautious until that. I had the Zcash monster ready to go, but I got to close because we got back into war. I'm kind of just like I'm not like messing around, but I'm floating in sort of surface level here. I'm like surface here. And so they let me build a monster on crude that has really low risk, and so I'm gonna take it and we'll see what happens. And I'm kind of just like floating for now. So here's where we're at on war. Let's go. First of all, this is a crazy clip.
Hey,
It's a really crazy clip. Bad for the dollar.
Brazil, in our hemisphere, largest country in the Western Hemisphere south of us, cut a trade deal with China. They're going to, from now on, do trade in their own currencies, get right around the dollar. They're creating a secondary economy in the world, totally independent of the United States. We won't have to talk about sanctions in 5 years because there'll be so many countries transacting in currencies other than the dollar that we won't have the ability to sanction them.
It's pretty scary for the US dollar. Also, how does long oil fit with your don't be a bear thesis? I just don't short. Nothing wrong with being a bear. Being a bear too long is bad, but I just don't play short. But it's definitely, it's bearish for US dominance for sure, what he just said. It's like, what? It's definitely happening, by the way. Strait of Hormuz only wants BTC or yuan. Like, it's definitely long oil shorting market. Yeah, sort of. But oil's up a lot and stocks are basically at all-time highs. So I don't think it's the cleanest expression. I think it's a little bit different. It's a little bit unique. Generally, yes, but it's a little bit different, IMO. So there's that. Here's Vance, Pakistan. This is gonna happen tomorrow.
Hey guys, good morning. Thanks for coming. Look, we're looking forward to the negotiation.
He looks OD skinny. When was that last interview that he got clowned for? Hold on. JD Vance interview. Let's go back like this year. Sort by views. I mean, this is undeniable. Look at this.
I've got some tour dates.
Dozen.
Thanks for coming.
I mean, he looks significantly skinnier in this. He looks better. He looks a lot better. I honestly, he looks better. He looks good in this. He looks a lot better. Gold job, or I know I'm watching it. We'll get back to it. I just want to go over all the war stuff. I think he looks significantly better.
Her one request from the campaign is.
I also like his voice. Okay, let's watch it though.
Hey guys, good morning. Thanks for coming. Look, we're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll of course see. As the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The President has gave us some pretty clear guidelines, and we're going to see. So I hope you guys have a safe flight. We'll certainly take some questions later on, but for now, let's get on the plane and hit the road. Thank you all.
So that follows up with I think this one. Trump warns of strikes to advance is going to Pakistan. And Trump warns of strikes if talks fail. Donald Trump says the U.S. is preparing military action if upcoming talks with Iran collapse, revealing warships are being renamed or rearmed with advanced weapons. Negotiations led by J.D. Vance and senior envoys aim to secure a lasting deal after a fragile ceasefire. Fragile is generous. There's no ceasefire. Key sticky points include Iran's uranium stockpile, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, missile programs, and sanction relief. Bottom line, diplomacy is underway, but the threat of escalation remains high if no deal is reached. This is, I don't think, the headline that you get when talks are going really well, right? Is that we are reallocating weaponry to get ready to invade. Talks start at midnight for your time zone, boss. Really? Wait. What time is Vance negotiations? Pakistan. Let's see. Midnight my time. I'm gonna be in absolutely no position to manage trades at midnight. I'm just gonna keep it a full stack. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm in absolutely no position to manage trades. So I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling at 7:30 before I go out. If I keep it on or not. This is kind of how I like to live. I'll give DNAT my keys. So look, I don't know. The whole situation is pretty mesmerizing to me. That the market is higher on news that there's no ceasefire, it was fake, and that the talks are not going great than we were on news that there's a ceasefire. We're higher now after it was broken. Again, you can't really fade that. Market wants to go up, Trump wants out. Both these things are true. Why I'm trying to go against the grain on that, I don't know. But I'm sort of just keeping myself entertained while we cover this. But these two things are very, very, very clear. Very clear to me to be true. Doomer guy, what's up, buddy? How are you? So that's what's happening tonight. A couple more Trump announcements. The world's most powerful reset. There's an announcement by Trump. Followed by this, which is so crazy to me. Asset. Hormuz can be opened within 2 months. 2 fucking months. I mean, part of the deal on the ceasefire was that it would be open today or yesterday. That was part of the announcement. It would be open the other day on the ceasefire. It was never a ceasefire. It was never a thing. And this is a pretty ridiculous. I mean, we feel this, I think. I really think we feel this if Bitcoin's 33K. Wow. It's just candling. It's done so well under the war. It really has. Honestly, under discussed topic of this war is how well Bitcoin has performed, I believe. Very under discussed topic. But we are going to feel this, I think. 2 more months of this is crazy. 2 more months of this is crazy. 2 more months of this is crazy. I got screwed out of 250K in Poly because it said ceasefire was confirmed. Damn. Link your account? I would like to look at that. If you don't mind. But you don't have to. That's tough. I would imagine a lot of shorters got destroyed, got carried out because ceasefire was fake, but you know, it's the rules. The rules are the rules, right? It is what it is. But it's very difficult. 250K at 500x leverage. Interesting. Yeah, this is just important. I don't know what else to say. Here's another one. Trump says the results of the talks with Iran will be clear in about 24 hours. We're going to know soon. We have a reset going. We're loading up the ships with the best ammunition, even at a higher level than we used for a complete decimation. It's like, this is just not what I think you say when, long or short, I don't know what to tell you, bro. This is not what you say when talks are going well. I don't know. It's not what I would be saying, I don't think, if talks were going well. It's like announcing I'm about to go. It's like, I'm about to go talk to my girlfriend and try to fix our relationship, but if it doesn't go well, I'm fully prepared to fuck my ex tonight. It's like, what? What do you mean? Like, imagine texting, hey, we're going to talk and I hope we can make up, but if not, I'm fucking my ex. 100%. And she's like, do you think that makes it more or less likely? That's what Trump's saying. Should I clip it again? Should I get it again for the clip? That's what he's saying. He's telling Iran. This is exactly what Trump just told Iran. I'm fully prepared to do it, and she's down. I'm fully prepared, and she's down, and I have a hotel room, is what he's saying. We're excited for talks to go well with Iran in 24 hours, but if they don't, we're going to blow them the fuck up. I'm excited to hang out and try to fix my relationship with my girlfriend. It's been rocky, but if not, I have a room ready in my ex and we're fucking. So I just don't think that's what you do when you really want to get back with your girl. I don't think you pre-fire that. Now, look, I've been in this spot before and I haven't really handled it the best. So maybe I'm not the guy to ask, but I just don't think you pre-fire the ex thing. It's like you have an ace, you keep the, don't get me wrong. You prepare and you make arrangements for the situation to not go well. You always have a backup plan, but you don't announce your backup plan to everybody. It's not what you do. At least it's not what I don't think it's what I would do if I really wanted her back. Now, if I didn't really want her back and my ex was looking mad good and I was down, then you just go fucking blow it up and you don't even care. You're just looking for an excuse to do it, which is what it is. But you save the hassle by just doing it and not trying with the excuses. That's my general personal take. It's when you want to threaten them, but they don't really respond well to the threats, you know? It's like, do you think your girl would respond well to knowing the ex is down? I don't think so, because she's the one mad at you. You're asking for her forgiveness, not really the other way around. And so does that make her more or less likely to agree to a deal, aka a remarriage? I think less. I think less. Unless she has this weird kink and your ex is really hot and she's really jealous of your ex and a little bit afraid of your ex and wants to win you over so bad, partially so your ex can't have you. Then she's a little sick in the head and it maybe actually benefits. But other than that, you get into some weird situations. But that's just where I'm at with the whole exes thing. What if we just fuck our best friend? The problem is you can't pre-fire the I'm gonna fuck the best. You can't pre-fire that because it blows everything up. The best friend thing only happens sneakily. You know what I mean? It's you know what it is? Really, the best friend's is this is gonna go way too far, but the best friend is like a nuke. You really can't do it. You just can't. You cannot do it. She can't do it. And if it happened, like if you were to do it, the fallout is, for lack of a better word, nuclear. Completely nuclear, and probably ruins your standing for a long time. Like, it changes the global world order, changes the friend group, it changes everything. You fuck your ex, and it's like, whatever. Like, it's a problem, but it isn't, like, the worst thing in the world. Like, it doesn't have, like, tail order effects, long tail effects. But you do the best friend, and all of a sudden, everybody's involved. Your homies, her homies, your friends, your parents, their parents. Like, the global world order is shifted forever. Can't go to the same bars. They live together. Rent's getting split. Jobs are getting lost. Like, it's a total, like, the whole thing is just, it's over. That is the nuke. And the one thing you cannot do on the nuke is pre-fire it. And so you can't even use it as leverage. Like, you can't even, like, threaten. You can't even threaten the best friend outcome, because it's like, wait, what? Call the best friend. What are you talking about? She's denied. Even if she's down, she's denied. Of course. So you can't dangle the X thing. You can't. Or the best friend thing. You cannot dangle as a carrot, because she's denied till she dies. And by the way, once you threaten it, it's off the table. You threaten the nuke, and then boom, UN stepping in. You lost the opportunity to do it. You threaten it, you lose it. It's totally, yeah. Sorry, this got like a little bit specific, but it's the best way that I know. You threaten it, you lose it. You don't get to threaten it. You just do it when you do it. And so don't pull a gun if you ain't gonna use it. Yeah, like, I'm just speaking. I don't know. I have some life experience. I'm not like a devious dog, but I've been in spots. And it's like, I've seen, come downstairs, didn't even know your ex was there, and she's talking to your girlfriend, and it's just like a weird spot. It's like, all of a sudden, Iran and China are negotiating, and you're like, what just happened? Right? What just happened? You walk upstairs for a minute, you come back downstairs, they're negotiating, and you're like, what's going on? I was gone for 30 seconds. Why are you here, and what just happened? It happens quick. And then all of a sudden, China's threatening you if you threaten Iran, and now you have no more influence, and a best friend left. And it's just, it's completely fried. And so that's the problem. If you play your hand too quickly, she shows up, and she meets her girlfriend. She's like, oh my God, you're so pretty. And you're like, fuck. I love your outfit. Fuck. All of a sudden, now you're dealing with China. You don't want to deal with China. And so you get hit with that. You come back downstairs, and it's like, oh my God, I know we've always had weird stuff online, but you're so beautiful. Fuck me, dude. What do you even do in that spot? Well, you act like you don't see it is probably what you do. You act like you don't see it. There is one really good outcome, but it is like, there's one good outcome from that, but it is very rare. It is like the golden grail of outcomes. And that is a low percentage shot. And it's one of those, it basically would be like the equivalent in the war would be like China, Iran, and the US all form an alliance, and they all charge the toll together. Down the middle, 33%, they all become friends. But that is like, that is so rare for that to happen. That is like, to me, it's never happened. Not like that. Not like that. Okay? It's probably it's got to be a sub 1%er. It's got to be a sub 1%er, because I actually am not sure that I can put odds on this, because I've never really been in this spot where it's played out like that. I've mitigated it, and I've gotten out of it. Leave with my girlfriend, no problems. They're on Instagram together. It's fine. Like, I've gotten out of it, but I've never finished it. And so I don't know. You got to put it like sub 1%, and you got to really be able to move. Is it higher or lower than 1%? I don't really know. But the reason it's so low is you can't ask. You can't say it out loud. You think higher than 1%? Really? Sub 5. And Also, your ex has to kind of hate you and your current girlfriend in order for it to work. It has to be like a little bit of a spite thing. She's got to be down just to like jab at your current girl. I think it's lower than 1, really. I think it's a very rare thing. Most men will never experience this. Because think about this. Think about what has to happen for that situation to even occur. For your ex and your current girlfriend to meet and you're like out of the room. That's super low. Then they get along and then you pull up. And so your chances of China, Iran, and the US all working together on a startup to charge toll through the Strait of Hormuz, I mean, that is a rare, most men will never experience that. Seriously. It happened to you. It's rare. Because the reason I think it's rare, I've been in this spot. The reason I think it's rare is you can't speak it. You know? If Trump goes on Twitter and he's like, China, we should like form an alliance with Iran, all of a sudden it's like, what? What just happened? Like, no. It's public. It's loud. People heard it. It's completely like, no way. And so it's got to be like it's a total like, it's a total just feel. It's really like a feel, right? It's like if you really played basketball and you get a deep pass under the rim, you catch it, you just look up, you just know where you are in the court. You got to really know where you are in the court, I think, with a play like this. And so that outcome is mythical, super low, and it's definitely not one you can bank on, in my opinion. If you bank on it, you already lost. So that's my general take. It can happen. It is possible, but very low. Very, 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 very low. And you say it out loud, you fuck it. So, anyways, I still have to say, yeah, 2 months feels like a really long time here. Very long time in the 2 months. Also, he posted this. The Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The reason they are alive today is to negotiate President Donald J. Trump. They do. I don't think they have pocket aces, but this is what I think. I think we're playing heads up poker. You have like 8-9 suited. Iran has 8-9 suited. The USA has ace king. And the board is like 2, 3, 8. You don't have a straight draw. You don't have a flush draw, but you do have top pair and a decent hand. And Israel has pocket aces. No, US has ace king for sure. Like they have a monster of a hand, but the flop is like a little bit weak. Flop is a little bit weak. You think they have top? You think US has top? I think Iran has top pair on a weak board, but the US has ace king suited of hearts, and there's 2 hearts on the board. And so it's a weird run out. You have top pair, but weak pair. And US has ace king suited, and there's 2 hearts on the board. And you're just like ready. You're like in his hand. You don't feel great. Maybe there's like a queen on the board. You don't feel great. You know you have a weak hand relative, but the board, the flop is a little bit weak. And they definitely don't have no cards. Okay. Or they have 2-7 and they fucking 3-bet it and a 7 comes down top pair. And they're like, oh, looks kind of interesting. That's low key what happened. US has ace king. Iran has 2-7. They 3-bet it. Board comes out. Jack, queen, 7. And Iran's like, hold on. Am I in this? Am I in this? That's 100% what it looks like. Anyways, let's keep going. So that is what that is. Also, yeah. White House official has it. They don't even say his, they don't even, by the way, you lose Fed chair, they don't even call you by your name anymore. They just call you White House official. You lose the Fed chair, they don't even call you by your name. They call you White House official. Crazy. Hassett. says Trump now thinks opening the Strait of Hormuz is not expected soon due to doubts. And then, is it Doobly? Concerning because Trump soon was already pretty suspect. Yeah. I mean, that Strait of Hormuz is not getting open anytime soon, and oil is going back up high. The question is, can you sit in utter carnage for as long as possible until you get there? Unclear. You know, just very unclear. Also, I don't really know what this means, but it made my position be worth a lot less. U.S. authorized the release of USD6 BLN and frozen Iranian funds, with Qatari and South Korean representatives said to be arranging the transfer within days. Source X. And then final is this. Speaker for Iran. Oh, 6 billion. That was weird. Why did they write it like that? I think it was fake. Why did they write it like that? USD 6 billion. Why did they write it like that? Two of the measures mutually agreed upon between the parties have yet to be implemented. The only two that matter, by the way. I mean, not the only two, but they're the only two that matter. A ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iran. Actually, this is not what I thought it was. A ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iranians blocked assets prior to the commencement of negotiations. They won't even negotiate before these two things happen. And then we have to deal with the uranium. And then we have to deal with the Strait of Hormuz. And so it's another weekend of me, Scott Bessent, and pee-pee poo-poo in the order books. That doesn't give you chills. I don't know what does. Apparently it's tonight, the negotiations, Pakistan. There's 3 preconditions before they even talk to then discuss the things that they're never going to agree upon. So what do you think? I don't know. Wait, let's check this real quick. I'm fly just like an eagle, big guy, long. I want to just like listen to Ken Carson. Fly just like an eagle. Man, Spaggers, man. Fly just like an eagle. Can someone like the PvP People song, please? You mean this? Beep beep boop boop beep beep boop boop. Oh, oh. Beep beep boop beep boop. Beep 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 boop 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 beep 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 boop boop beep 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 boop boop.
Pakistan, and there you see the American wife on his base stayed in the shadows. He was not. Remember,
the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to.
Why do I say Iranians? He says Iranians. Oh, sorry. Everybody says it like very explicitly different on purpose and doesn't switch.
Extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So
he's just like, I don't know, there's a lot of threats. A lot of threats before the negotiations.
Then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The president has gave us some pretty clear guidelines, and we're going to see. So I hope you guys have a safe flight. We'll certainly take some questions later on. But for now, let's get on the plane and hit the road. Thank you all.
Is anyone here from Iran? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Like how you would want me to pronounce it? Seriously asking.
Brief President captains inside the seaboard by American risk Austin.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a stream where you play the P4 song 10 times in 5 minutes, and coincidentally, this is the only time my girl was over, and I was like, yeah, I gotta finish watching this important stream.
And also, it's an interesting sort of one of those is now going to be fronting the negotiations.
And so, yeah, that's where we're at with the war. I think we're gonna have some new info based off what happens for this weekend, but I guess it's tonight. It's tonight. Negotiations happen tonight. Did you guys know about the civil war with the chimps? Is anyone aware of this right now or no? World War Chimp is happening right now. I'm from Iran. Threadguy, you can send me if you want. Send you to what? Where do you want to go? Okay, I do have an interview real quick before we get to the chimps. I was told it's like a reward. You know, the guys do like studying with like a reward at the end, and it's like they put like a vape in a glass, like a bunch of ice, and when it melts, it like hit the vape after studying. That's like what we're doing. I have to do the interview first, and then I could do War Chimp. So this guy, JH, who's up, I don't know, 15 mil the last month, maybe more, 15 million in the last month on crude. Did an interview with Polymarket, a written one. He won't come on stream. Did an interview. I kind of want to scroll through it. We'll see where we're at. So what do you make of the ceasefire deal yesterday? Oil prices will likely show weakness for a few days. However, it's highly doubtful this will lead to a permanent peace agreement. This was before the ceasefire was broken. Goat. Conditions such as Iran's continued control over the strait, uranium enrichment, lifting of sanctions, all seem nearly impossible to reach a consensus on. It's still important. Iran's control over the strait directly conflicts with the vital interests of the GCC countries, and the uranium enrichment issues remain difficult to resolve given the justifications for this war. Do you think that Hormuz traffic will normalize? By the way, I think like one ship has gone through today. So this is still when he thought a ceasefire was open. So some of these questions aren't that relevant. You've read that any kind of deal that enshrines Iran as a toll booth of Hormuz is untenable for Gulf states. If Iran introduces a toll system, the GCC countries, especially Saudi, will never accept it. The flow through Hormuz is several times larger than the total spare capacity of OPEC+. If Iran gains the ability to impose tolls, they'll become the most powerful and unrivaled swing producer in history, controlling a global oil flow of 20 million barrels a day. It's insane. If this happens, it's fucking unprecedented. This is an unacceptable situation for Saudi and the UAE. The issue isn't the amount of the toll. It's the fact that Iran would have say over the future flow of GCC countries. They would gain the authority to arbitrarily regulate a 20 million barrel a day flow. It's too much. Yeah, so how difficult would it be to build an alternative route? It's going to take forever. He thought the ceasefire was not going to happen, which is based. How are you positioned? I've been rolling over front month long since the Brent April contract. I booked significant profits enough to fully cover my bonus pool for the next 3 years. However, today's ceasefire announcement did lead to some losses in the June contract. Supply shock is guaranteed due to the production already lost, and continued supply deficits we'll see during the recovery process. Therefore, once the market sell-off stabilizes, I plan to build long positions in the back month contracts. Nice. Sky rocks. Not that much there other than that we haven't talked about, but pretty based. All right, here's what we're going to do. Let me get up real quick, and then I'm going to tell you the best story of all time in about 30 seconds. BRB.
By my fucking self. I don't need no help. I did this shit by myself. Woke up in the morning, said I don't need no help. I fucked that bitch by myself. Blowing on it by myself. I'm by myself. Man, you talking by myself. I need to rest before the show. Money get a nigga where he going. After this, I'm in your bitch. Then the studio. Double cup at the bitch. Still sipping dope. Bad bitch, super thick, and she missed dope. This your main bitch, but she always at my door. This your main bitch, but she
Yo, TG. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd be screenshotting your IG stories hella. Those memes too cold. I can't wait to act like I found them myself for the homies. They're for you, brother. I do it for you guys. Man, without you, I have nothing. I got nothing without you, G. I do it for you, man. They're for you. Hopefully I don't edit it. I don't like fuck it up. I write on it a lot. Hopefully you can like fix it. Reverse search maybe. But I'm be honest, I steal all of them anyways. So who fucking cares, right? Rough Day Factory is my favorite. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, here's a crazy market for you, which is presidential election winner. Dude, I think this market is going to swing a lot. By the way, it's down significantly. Pre-war, this thing was like 30%. It's down to 18%. I would imagine this market on whether or not JD Vance wins the election will swing significantly depending on how he does in these negotiations. Right? I mean, how else can you cut it? If he crushes negotiations, this probably makes all-time high. If these negotiations go horrible, and to be honest, they're kind of throwing out Vance to dry here, he might lose the election. Vance legitimately might lose the election if these negotiations don't go well in Pakistan. And I'm not even sure it's on him to make them go well. Where's Newsom at? Crazy. If this guy's the fucking president, man. Rubio is interesting. He got as high as 16. Is crazy. Damn, I want to bet on the presidential election. It's like betting on the NBA Finals. It's awesome. In my head, Vance was a lock after the election. What are Kanye's odds? What else we got? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. How is this thing 8% at one point? Elon Musk. Jamie Dimon. The only MF without a PFP. Kim Kardashian. She gets to 1.1%. What was AOC up to? Let's see. Not that high. 10 when this thing opened, low volume. Not that high. She could win though. She could win. I hope she does. Well, I'm gonna just start hedging crazy. By the way, I'll stance my position right now, and then from this point out, it's Friday stream. I'll make my stance. Basically, from this point on, I'm gonna have to hedge. So anything I say about who I want to be president from this point on is probably just gonna be compromised. But Rubio or Vance, obviously, probably Vance. Even though I'm becoming a Rubio fan. I really hope it's not Gavin Newsom, and I really hope it's not AOC. But that's it. Basically, from this point on, I gotta hedge. Whoever's winning is who I hope wins. Straight up. I'm just gonna have too much influence in 2028. I can't allow myself to be set up for failure. So hopefully this doesn't get clipped. Why not Yang? I just don't think Yang can win. Like, Yang realistically cannot win, I don't think. I'm a huge Yang fan. Got his book in the back, and I can't wait to have him back on the stream. I think Yang would make an insane vice president, by the way. Like, in my opinion, if Yang was on a ballot as somebody's VP, like if Yang was like Newsom's VP, it would make my thought process on it a lot more difficult. It really would. It would be a lot harder because I feel like Yang in a position for vice president where he could win, legitimately could win, he would be able to get a lot done, and he would be able to focus on the important stuff, like Americans in business and tech and law, while the president like starts wars in the Middle East, you know? So I don't know. I would love to see Yang on a ballot. I really would. I'm a huge fan after, especially after he came on stream. All right. What do y'all know about the ongoing chimp civil war in the Cabale National Park. Chimp Group Center appears to be on the verge of routing. They've retreated the primate lodge, and their alpha male Morton appears to be heavily wounded. What do you guys know about a rare and deadly civil war has broken out between two factions of chimps in Africa? Okay. This has only happened one time in the history of wildlife tracking. Okay. And it was in 1974 to 1978, a 4-year-long war, also known as World War Chimp, brother. I want to bet on this shit too. This is me in the oil books right now. Ah! I'm about to send Luke in, bruh. I'm about to send Luke.
Roaming across the dense forested hills in Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania, chimpanzees live in territorial communities, dividing themselves into groups of 1 to 40.
TG, can a chimp beat a man to death? Are you insane? Brother, a chimp would fucking rip you to literal shreds. A chimp would literally just, I mean, it would absolutely cut your neck off and fucking drink your blood. And
north you had the Kasakila, and in the south the Kakombe and the Makenka. A few years prior to 1974, territorialism between these groups was witnessed by
chimp
Jane
would
Goodall.
just, by the way, a chimp, I'm gonna play the doc. A chimp would absolutely destroy John Jones 1v1. Destroy. It would cut his, it would destroy him. It would kill him. It would, 3 John Jones versus 1 chimp, 3 John Jones would kill the chimp, 100%. I think 3 John Jones would kill the chimp.
An English primatologist and anthropologist who had been researching chimpanzees in the area since the 1960s.
I think 2.5 John Jones is the lowest amount you could get. I think 2.25 John Jones probably. Because John Jones is a pretty vicious 2.5. John Jones would put a chimp in a triangle choke so fast, you're out of your fucking mind. Dude, stop. What are you saying? Chimpanzees are 1.35 to 1.5 times stronger than, in terms of muscle power. They're pound for pound roughly 2 times stronger than the average human, with a grip strength that can exceed 4,000 pounds. Also, they have razor sharp teeth, and their skin is like armor. John's chimp ratio is over 3. Dude, their skin is like armor. Like, you can't. How strong are chimpanzees compared to humans? Chimps are very strong, but how strong? They have mostly fast twitch muscle fiber. Chimp muscle is 1.3 times more powerful. They're 150 pounds too, by the way. So technically I can outstrength a chimp. Yeah. I think two, maybe 2.5 John Jones. It would destroy your face. Oh my God. I think two John Jones. Maybe 2.25. That extra 2.5 would get like in there. Yeah. All right.
Chimpanzees were known for their territorial
This is the
behavior,
only
but
time.
Jane and researchers
Okay, Tiger Woods in an Escalade versus 1 chimp. All right, this is the only time there's ever been a civil war between chimps before. We have to watch it.
never thought to
This is what's happening in Pump Fun order books right now.
kill a fellow chimp, but not only kill, but do so callously and then celebrate afterwards.
Celebrate after.
Before the war, we must go back to 1971.
Celebrate,
In
bro.
19 strong male chimp who
You could put me in this tribe and I would still find a way to make money trading. I would still be bartering. You could put me in, I would still find a way to make it, bro.
almost killed a researcher, Dr. Wrangham, by hurling a large rock at his head, became alpha. But Humphrey was no leaky, and over time the community began to turn sour. Two chimps in particular started causing trouble, brothers Charlie and Hugh. Over the next few years, the whole Gombe group would divide itself into two, those who supported Humphrey and those who took Charlie and Hugh's side. Charlie and Hugh, with their community, headed south to form the Kahama, consisting of brothers Hugh and Charlie, Godey, Dee, Goliath and Sniff. While Humphrey stayed in the north with a larger part of the original group and became known as the Casakila group, consisting of alpha male Mike, Satan, Sherry,
Bro, how did he get the name Satan, bro? What? What the fuck did he do to get the name Satan? Are you kidding me?
Everett, Rudolph, Jomio, and Figan. Nothing out of the ordinary in the animal kingdom. First blood was drawn by the Casakila. Humphrey, Figan, Jomio, Sherry, Everett, and Rudolph headed south and ambushed Godey of the Kahama, whilst he was alone feeding on a tree. Godey was pulled from the tree with force and thrown to the ground, then viciously beaten with a huge rock. He managed to crawl away from his attackers, but he was never seen again. After Godey had been defeated, the victorious chimps celebrated boisterously, throwing...
Wait. 1x.
After Godey had been defeated, the victorious chimps celebrated boisterously due to the fact they usually eat alone, preferring not to share food with friends and family for the most part.
Damn, they're
The
sliming them
Casakila
out.
hid and waited for these moments of feeding before attacking the community. After Godey, Dee was taken out next, and then
They're just
Hugh.
getting slimed out.
The eldest male, Goliath, still remained and was targeted next. Goliath had shown peace during the Casakila's attacks and taunts. However, his kindness was not reciprocated, and he was killed. With only 3 males remaining, Charlie, Sniff, and Willy Wally, Charlie was killed next. After his death, Willy Wally disappeared and was never found, and the last remaining Kahama male, the young Sniff, survived for over a year. For some time it seemed as if he may escape into
He's the last one and they're just like tracking him down all day, every day. Solo.
a new community or be welcomed back to the Casakilas. But there was none such luck. Sniff too fell to the Casakila warband. Once all the males in the Kahama had been picked off, the Casakila needed to deal with the female chimps. Of the females from Kahama, 1 was killed, 2 went missing, and 3 were beaten and kidnapped by the Casakila males.
What do you mean kidnapped?
The Casakila then succeeded in taking over the Kahama's former territory. By the end of 1978, the Kahama group were no more. Their females and their territory belonged to the Casakila. Never before had anything like this been seen in the wild. But there was no happy ending for the Casakila community. A much larger group of chimps, the Kalande community, moved into their space, and the Casakila were no match for them.
A new
They were
third
retreated
group?
back to their original territory, where
Bro, it's like you're like fighting a squad in Fortnite and a third squad rolls in and you're like, bro, like get the fuck, this is my fight.
they had come from, handing over the Kahama area to the Kalande. Groundbreaking, Jane Goodall's years at Gombe had a lasting effect on her. The things she saw during the Gombe War were likened to witnessing a human conflict, and Jane was left profoundly disturbed by the 4-year war. She later told that she struggled to come to terms
Jay, she's way out of her depth, by the way. She's way out of her league on this. Get the fuck out, you know? It's like, what are we talking about? Way out of her depth.
with this new knowledge, often waking at night to horrific pictures of Satan, one of the chimps, cupping his hands.
Dude.
Often waking at night to horrific pictures of Satan, one of the chimps, cupping his hands below Sniff's chin to drink the blood that welled from a great wound on his face. Or visions of old Rudolph, usually so benign, standing upright to hurl a 4-pound rock at Godey's prostrate body. Or didn't just shed light on Chimp's aggression. She also challenged 2 long-standing beliefs of the day: that only humans could construct and use tools, and that chimpanzees were vegetarians, a belief held before the 1970s. Jane witnessed and watched in awe as the chimps of Gombe systematically hunted and ate smaller primates such as Columbus monkeys. But not just hunt, but do so with communication and strategy. They would block all the exits for Columbus monkeys, then one chimp would be assigned to the job of going in for the kill. Once the monkey had been caught, the chimps would go nuts, ripping it to pieces and sharing it amongst their community. This alone was a major scientific find that challenged previous conceptions of chimpanzee diet and behavior. While observing one
Trump is speaking for Shatter.
chimpanzee feeding at a termite mound, she watched him repeatedly place stalks of grass into termite holes, then remove them from the hole covered with clinging termites, effectively fishing for termites. The chimps would also take twigs from trees and strip off the leaves to make twigs more effective, a form of objective modification, that is the rudimentary beginnings of toolmaking. Humans had long distinguished ourselves from the rest of the animal kingdom as man the toolmaker, but this proved that this was no longer the case. But the most harrowing account of all was the fact that the chimpanzees were using tools to inflict damage and death, hurling rocks and sticks at their fellow friends. Showed Jane and all the researchers a side to chimpanzees that had never in the history of the world been witnessed, in what became known as the 4-year Gombe Chimpanzee War.
Holy fuck. I was not prepared for what we were about to just watch. Holy fuck. Wow. What did you just say? Can I donate some Shahed drones? Dude, that's fucking dark. Dude. Wow. Is Trump actually speaking or no? I was going to debrief this, but I was kind of... Skip to 57. Luke clip. Are you sure I should click start on this? Are you sure I should click start on this or no? I feel like I shouldn't. I don't really want to watch this. I want to get banned on Twitch. I don't want to watch this, dude. I'm not. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. I don't want. I actually don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch it. 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 I actually don't want to watch. I actually don't want to watch. Here's what I do want to watch though. Damn, there's no commentary about this, by the way.
How much do we think about chimps? Not much.
Very little.
It's like,
It's
and
true.
these chimps are at war. Groups of chimps just attack each other and they kill each other. And they torture each other. That's pretty bad.
I saw that David Attenborough documentary on chimps where they were eating those colobus monkeys and ripping them
Yeah,
apart.
it's just
I
rough.
saw that
It's
many years
gruesome.
ago. It just
Gruesome.
changed how I go, oh, this is why people are so crazy. We came from that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How much do we think about chimps?
Wow.
Not much.
Very little.
It's like,
It's
and
true.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think about chimps ever. I don't know what, like, I probably haven't thought about chimps in years, if I'm being honest. Like probably years. Like multiple years. I don't know when the last time I thought about a chimp was, but it's been years. But a civil war has broken out. The dispute erupted in what was once a cohesive group of about 200 chimps. It took just 3 years for them to turn on each other. Crazy, bro. Yeah, the video did sound like AI. Jeez. Anyways, fucking gnarly. That's War Chimp. I would like to keep you updated on it, but I don't really know what to do to update you on it. Like, I just have Twitter. Have you heard of the lion killer chimps? What? What?
Have you seen that photo or the footage rather of the jaguar that they found in Arizona?
Yeah, yeah.
That's really interesting too, right?
Amazing.
That they're starting to make their way up from Mexico.
It's such a weird region because here's this huge Sonoran desert that you think none of these tropical animals can make it across, and for
Is that shady pants?
whatever reason, southern Arizona gets jaguars and coatimundi and peccary and all these like tropical animals.
Yeah.
What the hell? I don't.
This is the Billy or Bondo ape. You've probably heard many accounts from clips about these creatures like the one from our famous friend here.
They're sure that's a real thing.
Really?
Yeah, they've got skulls and hair samples and photographs and video. And for people who don't know what we're talking about, it's a gigantic chimpanzee.
Right.
Like a 6-foot tall chimpanzee. The locals have two different names for chimps. They call them tree beaters and lion killers.
Huh.
And the tree beaters are the ones that are up in the trees, the smaller chimps.
Sure.
And the lion killers are these big ones.
That's enough of that, Joey. But what are these huge, massive apes? Do they even exist? Where are they? And do they really kill lions?
Is that a real video? The gun? This is a real video.
Massive apes, do they even exist? Where are they? And do
This is a real video.
they really kill lions?
Say AI. AI is awesome.
The depths of the impenetrable and very dense Congo rainforest, it's said that a population of savage giant apes rule supreme. Their location at the center of one of the bloodiest conflicts on the planet, the civil war in the Democratic Republic of Congo, has meant that the mystery apes have been little studied by scientists. Known as the Bondo ape or Billy Ape, accounts of these creatures suggest they walk on 2 feet down the size of a grown man, with reports saying up to 6 feet tall, howl like a wolf towards the moon, and nest on the ground like gorillas.
What are you talking about?
It also said that they are ferociously aggressive and have picked up a reputation for being lion killers. So is this a new, unknown species of apes to mankind? Or could this even be a hybrid of gorillas and chimpanzees? One of the first scientific efforts to track down the mystery ape was made by Carl Ammon, a Swiss-Kenyan photographer and conservationist in 1996. He came across a number of skulls held at the Royal Museum for Central Africa in Belgium. They had been collected by Belgian colonizers near the town of Bili in the Northern Democratic Republic of Congo, about 200 kilometers or
There's no way this guy's alive. Like, absolutely no chance.
124 miles east of the Ebola River. The skulls featured a rather large mohawk ridge down the center, just like a gorilla, and as such were classified as gorillas. But something was off. Other aspects of the skull's shape and size were more comparable to a chimpanzee. Plus, there were no known gorilla populations living in the region where they were collected. Suspecting he might be on the verge of a new discovery,
How are you not covering World Liberty Fight? That's next. More important stuff first.
Ammon ventured to the northern regions of the DRC. There, he spoke to local hunters who told him about sightings of giant apes who killed lions and were seemingly immune to poisonous darts.
What do you mean
Frequently,
immune?
These strange beasts were also said to howl at the full moon. He also bought photographs from locals showing people posing with the hulking bodies of massive apes they had hunted. Although his mission managed to document some extremely large chimp poop and cast of footprints larger than a gorilla's, there was no conclusive proof of the Billy Ape from his expedition. Another quest to identify the mystery ape came in the summers of 2002 and 2003. One of the researchers on the expedition was Dr. Shelley Williams, who purportedly returned from the trip to the DRC and gave interviews to the media. This resulted in a number of mainstream publications like CNN, the Associated Press and National Geographic reporting sensational articles about the Bondo apes.
What the dart and
The larger
rescue
animal had a
town.
much flatter face and straight across brow like gorillas, and turned grey early in life. 2 or
Bro.
3 would nest on the ground, with others low in nearby branches. They made a distinct vocalization like a howl, and were louder when the full moon rose and set.
The apes, she argues, could be a new species unknown to science, a new subspecies of
Damn.
chimpanzee or
GG. I'm happy I'm not a fucking wildlife person, bro. I sit my ass inside. Other people can do the discoveries. I'll sit my ass in fucking side. Okay. In other news, Tao had a rough day yesterday. Okay. Insane. Day on Tao. I am not sure if Jason Calacanis has spoken on this yet. But just complete I very much do not have great analogies to use that don't involve like tough words to be using right now. I thought it was an Zcash. I know you're not saying that to me. By the way, I know no one's saying that to me. So here's what happened. Is this Covenant AI thing left Tao, which I don't even know. I mean, I still don't even know what. Oh, is that Adam? What's good, Adam? I still don't even know how fucking Tao works. I'm completely honest. That's probably the reason I sold it. I said, I'm here for a very short time, not a long time. I'm here to make money. That's exclusively why I'm here. I still don't even know how it works. Okay. But one of the subnets left and just, I guess, stacked all of their Tao. And they wrote this crazy post I haven't read yet. Do you want me to read it? I think it's pretty dark or like intense. It reads, Covenant AI was built on a very simple conviction that the training of frontier AI models should not be controlled by any single entity. Over the past 2 years, our team has delivered on that vision. Covenant 72B, a 72 billion parameter model trained permissionlessly across 70 plus independent contributors on commodity hardware, stands as the largest decentralized LLM pre-training run in history. This is the one that Chamath shilled to Jensen Huang. We did not seek attention. We sought to prove that decentralized training works. We want to be unambiguous about what that means. When a single actor can suspend a subnet's emissions, override an owner's authority over their own community spaces, publicly depreciate projects without process, and use token sales as a coercive mechanism to compel compliance. That is not decentralization. It is training control with decentralized branding. AI ad comment. I don't even know what any of this means, by the way. There's like Tao lore that I just am not up on. Every participant, miner, validator, and investor in this ecosystem should understand that this power exists and that it has been exercised by Jacob Steves, aka Const, and that it was exercised not in service of the network's health, but to reassert control over a team that had grown too independent to be managed. A subnet owner who builds his own community, makes his own decisions, and can operate without permission is a threat to someone whose power depends on everyone needing him. BitTensor operates a BitTensor operates a triumvirate structure. 3 individuals who manage the multi-sig for network upgrades presented to the community as a distributed governance. It is not. It is decentralization theater. Jacob Steves, aka Const, maintains effective control over the... Oh my God, dude. Hold on.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word correctly. It is spelled as T-R-I...
Just say the fucking word.
I-U-M-V-I-R-A-T-E.
Oh my God, just say it.
The correct pronunciation of this word is...
Oh my God.
Triumvirate. 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 We are looking at how to pronounce this word correctly.
Triumvirate.
It is spelled as T-R-I-U-M-V-I-R-A-T-E. The correct pronunciation of this word is triumvirate.
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 Triumvirate. Triumvirate. Triumvirate. Triumvirate. Control over the triumvirate. Resist any meaningful transfer of authority, deploys changes unilaterally whenever he chooses. This is fucking Claude slop. Without process, without consensus, the individuals involved serve... Hey, DNAP, find me a chart on this if you can. Triumvirate. The individuals involved serve as legal shields, people who can be held accountable and sued while he remains insulated. The network speaks constantly about governance and decentralization. It never follows through. The power has never left one person's hand. This is the core issue. The entire premise of BitTensor, the promise that drew builders, miners, validators, and investors into this ecosystem that no single entity controls it, that promise is a lie. Okay, here's the reply. I should address some of the points in the article which AI slop influencers are now repeating. Damn, this is like real beef. I suspended emissions to his subnets. I do not have the ability to suspend emissions. What I did do is sell some of my alpha holdings of his 3 subnets because they were not running and they were on near 100% burn code. This changed the emission the same way all buys and sells on BitTensor do. I do not have any privilege beyond what normal Tau holders have. Okay, so we sold their fucking token. I depreciated Covenant's channels and removed moderation rights. No. Samuel specifically depreciated his own channels, which he did via a pinned comment and also a Twitter post. To be clear, he's talking about a Discord channel, okay? I removed his ability to moderate his community. Same was the leading post in his channel of genuine, honest criticism. I removed that ability temporarily, then reinstated it later. I did not remove his moderator role. I simply stopped him from deleting posts from others in his channels. This is about a Discord, really? Depreciating infrastructure. Not even sure what this one means. Large visible token sales. Not large. Less than 1% of what I had invested in his teams. Visibility is impossible to avoid in my position. I reserve my right to buy and sell tokens, which is what underpins the entire ecosystem of DTAO. Anything else? I mean, it's a Discord group we're fighting over, is what I digress from that, no? It's a Discord group. What? I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm just gonna by the way, I'm not trying to like make light of the situation. If you lost money in this, I'm genuinely sorry. But this is definitely why I don't buy shit I don't understand for more than like 48 hours. And I just don't understand Tau. This is a tough one. Let's see. Wow. This is the token. Holy fuck. Ugh. Your paw was the top for Tau. That's why I blasted in the Telegram group that I sold it. We made a sick trade on Tau. I told you what the Tau trade was in the very beginning. I said, I'm in here because somebody else wants to fall on the sword and shill this thing. And I'm going to buy it for as long as they're willing to shill it. And I'm going to get the fuck out when I'm happy with how much I made. This is why I don't bag work coins. I am a trader. I am absolutely a trader. You definitely told us when you sold it. Thank you. At the end of the day, I am a trader. And this is a part of the problem with crypto, honestly. Sort of disappointing with crypto is that it is so much just crap, man. Like you have no right as a token holder. You're not entitled to anything. And it is just so frequent for an outcome like this. It's honestly disappointing, and it makes you cynical, and it makes you upset. It makes you angry. And this is part of the reason that I have pivoted a lot of my trading to trading and not community holding, working, bag working. Like, I very much had to shorten my time horizon on crypto trades because I don't know, you up until this point have gotten punished for believing in stuff. Part of the reason I like Zcash is it sort of has this like pseudo immaculate conception, is that the word, where it doesn't really rely on like a founder to save the ecosystem. Most people actually hate the founder. Hyperliquid is a unique one. Just pray to heavens that Jeff just continues to be Jeff, because that we can't lose Hyperliquid. And then Bitcoin, of course, which is, you know, my favorite token ever. But even that, it's like, okay, quantum. It's like there's so many things against you at all times. It's really difficult to deal with a lot of the founder slop in crypto. It really is, man. It really is. It's disappointing to see if you lost money in this. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have that much to say about it. This is just like what crypto is these days. I mean, it can't get worse, so it sort of just is. Like, I don't know what to say even about it. It's a tough outcome. It's like a very disappointing outcome for Tau. I mean, I don't think it's over for Tau, but I listened to the Twitter Spaces last night and it was rough. It was very rough. I shorted 338, one of my best trades to date. Congrats. Why'd you short? Why'd you enter the trade? I mean, our chat made a pretty good trade on Tau. I don't know if you stayed in it. If you stayed in it, it's cooked. But I think our chat, did anyone make money and sell Tau from like our chat? Trump making comments. Eric Voorhees worth having a stream. We'll do an Eric Voorhees stream. Let's see. I thought it was bad when you let them chill it on your stream. I mean, dude, it's like when a token goes up 10% day over day over day, you're obviously going to bring the founders on or whoever you can get on to talk about it. It isn't the case that you can, like, not everyone that comes on the stream is shilling. It's like, no. Or they are shilling, but we're not necessarily buying it, right? It's like a different story. It's absolutely a different story. And so I said it was a scam and was told this to Fu. Here's the deal. I think basically everything is a scam. I've gotten to the point where I basically just trade everything. But I'm always going to bring the hottest person on for the hottest token, no matter what. If you like it, you like it. If you hate it, you hate it. Ultimately, it's going to be on you to make the decision. But, I mean, we pretty loudly got the fuck out of Tau. Traded it really well. I was really, really satisfied with the trade. The thesis was never about Tau is a good coin. It was always about people are shilling this really hard that have influence outside our world, and we should pay attention. So that's my Tau take.
You're not going to let them hold a straight, are you? I mean, it's international.
No, we're not going to let that. It's international water. If they're doing that, nobody knows if they're doing that, but if they're doing that, we're not going to let that happen.
You're not going to let them hold a straight, are you? I mean, it's international.
I mean, this is like a, I don't know. How does this end? You're not going to let them toll it? All right, how?
No, we're not going to let that. It's international water. If they're doing that, nobody knows if they're doing that, but if they're doing that, we're not going to let that happen.
You're not going to let them hold a
We'll see. DNAP, Holy Aura. This looks like the Luigi. This looks like the Luigi picture. Oh, I just spilled so much water. Fuck. Hey, Malcolm, you got some paper towels? Fuck my life. My God, that's not what I meant to search, bro. I meant to search Luigi Mangione pick. I searched Luigi hard-ass pick. That was insane. This is what I meant to search. That was absolutely nuts. I can't believe I just showed you on the stream. Yo. Thanks. How did you just do that? You do it over? I fuck her every night, yeah, cause we in love. We in love. Thanks. Dude, I spilled so much water, bro. You don't even know Malcolm really runs this shit, bro. You should hope you never have to get into serious business call with Malcolm, because that kid's a fucking... Why Raspberry on screen? Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, that's crazy because Rasmus just texted me at the same time that you said that, and I thought I doxed my text. The exact moment he just texted me some dumb shit too. That was really fucking weird. All right. What do I want to show you now? I have something else for you. Oh God. There's this. I don't have much to say on this because I don't really know, but fucking be careful. War Liberty Fi. Okay, they're taking out massive loans against World Liberty Fi tokens, like the team is. Does anyone hold this? I would like to let the story develop before I, publicly make crazy assumptions. But basically what they did is they put like 150 mil and some change of USD into a lending pool and borrowed against it, and I don't think that's going to get paid back. I really don't think it's going to get paid back. So fucking, if you hold this, be careful. I think it's at $150 million cash, a little bit more, maybe 100, 200. Be very careful right now with what happens here. And it's also very unfortunate because it might be one more hurdle crypto has to get over, is this World Liberty Fi thing. And it's extremely unfortunate if it's the case, because it would hurt. It would hurt crypto because it's so public. What's good, Spicy Meatball? It's so public. So it's not looking great. I don't think it's looking terrible. How is World Liberty Fi even legal? I mean, you want the real answer? When does a loan expire? Can't we just short it? Well, I don't think there's much shorting potential here. There's not much short potential here. Honestly, I wouldn't. This is not a thing I would touch at all. I wouldn't touch it. Don't long it. Don't short it. Just let it do whatever it wants to do. Just let it do whatever it wants to do, really. Just let it do its thing is what I would recommend. Stuff like this, you just don't touch, really. You don't long it, try to be cute. And I wouldn't try to short it. I would just let this thing exist. Let me search on Twitter real quick. What do you think? Justin Sun's on 80 mil is insane. 75. I think the number's higher than this. But whatever the number is, it's a lot. It's not great. So I want to just call that out if you were wondering what was happening. Another thing happened today before I play a video I'm so excited to play, which is that Trump tweeted Palantir ticker today, which is fucking nuts. Palantir Technologies, parentheses, PLTR, has proven to have great warfighting capabilities and equipment. Just ask our enemies. President DJT. Why would he tweet this? I don't know. Why would he tweet the ticker is crazy to me. I really don't know why he would tweet the ticker. It's a pretty crazy and strange situation. Now, usually this would be a mega church type of long. And you had like a tiny candle, but there was no money to be made on this. And it's honestly a little bit concerning because a lot of my thesis of recent of the market is you do what Trump says. And now it didn't move, which is like a little bit concerning. I think the counter would be that this is like one stock that's getting crushed because software is getting crushed and it's just like in a weird spot. You could obviously see where he tweeted. But the fact that the chart didn't flinch definitely and it not moving should probably challenge people who believe that admin could drive the market where they want. Now, I think it's a little bit different if he's talking about the broader market, especially when he's front running a war being over or not over. But the fact that it didn't move is a little bit alarming. I will say. I will say it's a little bit alarming. It definitely contradicts some stuff. Is he even allowed to post a ticker? He's the president. He can do whatever he wants. It's the truth. It's definitely, that's just like the take. It's Raytheon. Okay, cool. And then this also came out, which I just, yeah, it's a headline day today. Trump promises mass pardons to staff before leaving office. Trump said he will, quote, pardon everyone who has come within 200 feet of the Oval Office. Now, why you would need to publicly say that is nuts. But I'm just going to say, as time goes on, two things we've been talking about for months continue to just seep through and be true. And that's why you should just take a lot of the things we talk about and form your own takes on it. Because number one is mega church time, and number two is loot and rob. That little article, loot and rob, well, there's a reason we talk about it all day, every day. It's shockingly no guests have any good takes on it. I've asked like 10 people now. No one has any good takes on it, but we do. And that's all that matters. It's because we know. And we're aware. And the best, all we can do is make our own framework or take around it. It's crazy no one has any good takes on this. I asked Yang and I asked Peter Schiff. Neither had a good take. How? How did neither have a good take on it? Respectfully. Did you ask Thicky? No, but I should. Sorry, I gotta swipe on this IG story. I haven't asked Thicky, but I will. Crypto streamer. All right, I have a sick video I want to watch. Let me get up real quick though. Let me get back so I can focus. BRB in 30 seconds. Actually, I'll play a Kent song. I have actually something really cool I want to play. I have to beat this guard. He usually plays every time he stops the stream, bro. Buddy's short the stock market that never goes down. Thinks my music is garbage. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. What do you got, DNAP? Wait, let me see. The fuck? Wait, hold on. Unpin. Wait. Let me pull this up. Who gonna die first, you or me? Bro, who's Spy? Is Spy Calls and Spy Puts the same person or no? I've been fighting my demons, yeah. Dude, my fucking keyboard doesn't work anymore. Are you lying? Dude, I just fucking, my keyboard is cooked. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Bro, my keyboard is so fried.
You don't need a backup plan. We have.
There's no deal though.
You don't need a backup plan. We have the military is defeated. Their military is gone. They have, we've degraded just about everything. They have very few missiles. They have very little manufacturing capability. We've hit them hard. Our military is amazing, the job they've done.
It's like, nah. But I don't know. I'm sitting in it for now. 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 All right. On a serious note, for a very serious stream, I do have a video I really want to play, but it's completely unrelated to anything we've talked about all day. It's so unrelated to anything we've talked about all day, but I have a video I really want to play because I think it's so good. All right, watch this. I'm going to play a 1-minute intro. I actually think it's easier to long because they're talking with Iran. I can explain why in 18 minutes. Let's do this. I'm going to play 1 minute of a video, and then everybody tell me yes or no. Okay? Everyone tell me yes or no after 1 minute. Deal? Deal. I'm so excited for this one. I'm so excited.
So nothing comes without consequence.
1 minute.
It's a crisp, clear morning at the Helsinki airport. A private jet slowly rolls to a stop on the runway. Inside sits Mark Rich, billionaire, fugitive. He's about to set foot onto European soil, but he hesitates. Something isn't right. To most, he's just another man returning home, but on his tail, federal agents are closing in, ready to take him down. He senses they're there, patiently waiting for him to slip up and step off the plane. Instead, he orders the pilot to turn the plane around. They're not stopping here. He needs to return to where he's safe, back to his secluded Swiss villa. That close call was no accident. For nearly 2 decades, Rich had been playing a deadly chess game with the FBI. They tracked his flight plans and watched as he crisscrossed continents, sending them around the world in pursuit, hoping he'd make a mistake. Just one problem. He never did, not once. Here, high up in the Swiss mountains, a world of unimaginable wealth and power. He's just another wealthy expat. His neighbors don't ask questions. He lives a life of luxurious anonymity. But in the US, he's notorious, a legend, a fugitive traitor with 65 criminal counts. He's accused of being everything from a tax cheat to a traitor. To the authorities, he was the most wanted man in America. To him, it was just another deal. But what no one knew was that his greatest escape was still ahead.
Yes or no? Ah! Fuck this fucking AI. What's up, Citadel?
It's 1941, in the dark hold of a freight ship. A child trembles, scared and carrying the scars of war. He's just 6 years old. The air smells of diesel, the walls stacked with oil drums, cramped, dangerous. But this hidden corner is keeping him alive. That child is Mark, the rich family's last hope. Almost a year earlier, they had escaped Antwerp just days after the city fell to the Nazis. And now, after a year of evading capture, they're bound for America. Escaping the city on foot or by train was fraught with risk. Most families had no way out. The trains were overloaded. Roads swarmed with soldiers.
Of course it's real.
Even under the cover of darkness meant almost certain death. But Mark's father had one advantage: a car, bought only days earlier. It gave them a fighting chance, a way to bolt out of the city while others were trapped. Mark was still a child, but the burning lesson was clear. The world is dangerous, and acting fast isn't always enough to survive. It was about taking risks, and knowing fortune had to be on your side. More than 10 years later, in Manhattan, a young Mark sits in a classroom. Lectures drone on. Textbooks bore him. After one semester at NYU, he walks out for good. Theory couldn't compete with the chaos of the real world. He walks into the Phillip Brothers brokerage in 1954.
The
Even as a
Pits!
junior in the mailroom, he stands out. While others shuffle papers and ruffled shirts, Rich wears a tailored suit, already dressing like the man he wants to become. And he sees more than paper. When ordinary traders talk about small margins, Mark dreams of an empire. It's here he meets Ludwig Jesselson, a German Jewish refugee who had turned scrap metal into a global commodity business. Jesselson becomes his mentor, showing him how to see the cracks in the system others don't see. A refinery shuts down, others see losses. Mark sees a way in. A war starts, others pull back. Mark makes deals with both sides. When he's forced out of Phillip Brothers in the mid-70s, he doesn't hesitate. He takes the playbook with him. Along for the ride was his friend and fellow disruptor, Pincus Pinky Green, a scrappy, erratic partner, Rich's perfect foil. The odd couple set up shop in Switzerland.
My keyboard's broken.
In. A war starts, others pull back. When he's forced out of Phillip Brothers in the mid-70s, he doesn't hesitate. He takes the playbook with him. Along for the ride was his friend and fellow disruptor, Pincus Pinky Green.
You promise me this is a true story. Like, you swear this is a true story. Because who the fuck is Pincus? You swear this is a true story?
A scrappy, erratic partner, Rich's perfect foil. The odd couple set up
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
shop in Switzerland, a haven of secrecy, light on bureaucracy, built for speed. And soon, Mark Rich rewrote the rules. Oil was no longer tied up in rigid, long-term contracts. Futures
World
were
War Chimp, bad
old-fashioned.
name.
His vision was instant spot value, deals on demand. But spot trading was risky. The veterans said it was too volatile.
His wife like, ooh, Pincus. Dude, your brain's fucking fried.
Recklessness dressed as innovation. It wasn't new, just a shortcut for the desperate. It wasn't innovation, just gambling. But Rich was about to prove them wrong. And this time, he wasn't just playing the game. He was dealing the cards.
Dude, this is such an AI script, though. It's driving me nuts.
From his base in Switzerland, Mark Rich & Co. was untouchable. Beyond the reaches of regulators and US laws, Rich could cut deals others only whispered about. And then came 1973, the chance he had been waiting for. On October 6th, the Jewish holy day of Yom Kippur, an alliance of Arab states launched a surprise attack on Israel. The Yom Kippur War had begun, and it spiraled into a proxy conflict between superpowers. The US backed Israel with everything it had. The Soviets armed the Arab states. Cold War rivalry was suddenly raging in the Middle East. The Arab states retaliated with their most powerful weapon, oil. They imposed a sweeping embargo on the West, punishing America and its allies.
Sounds familiar. Bye, Viblet.
Overnight, oil prices quadrupled. Economies reeled. Lines formed at gas stations. There was panic and chaos in the West. But while others suffered, Mark Rich saw his moment. While Western firms were bound by embargoes, Rich was free. His Swiss base gave him the freedom to deal directly with producers. Quietly, behind closed doors, he moved fast, buying oil others couldn't touch and selling it at a premium. By the time the embargo ended a year later, Mark Rich had made
someone's doing this right now, probably.
Hundreds of millions. And more importantly, he had built a secret network of contacts that would define his power for decades to come. The money poured in. Oil was only the beginning. Gold, grain, natural gas. If it could be moved across borders, he would move it. His fleet of tankers and freighters slipped across oceans, often in the dead of night. Deals brokered with dictators. Cargo routed through disputed waters. Supplies delivered to nations cut off by sanctions. The risk, enormous. The reward, astronomical. Where others pulled back, Rich leaned in. His motto was simple: I deliver. That's what my clients want. One of his most valuable trading partners was the powerful Shah of Iran. They'd made a secret deal, giving Rich access to the country's vast crude supplies. For every barrel Iran pumped, Rich was there to sell it. But everything changed in 1979. The Islamic Revolution erupted. The Shah was overthrown. In his place rose Ayatollah Khomeini, a ruthless figure and religious firebrand no one knew. Whoa. What in Iran under his leadership.
Whoa.
would look like for Iran, the rest of the world, or Mark Rich. Almost overnight, Iran went from America's ally to America's enemy. And then came the hostage crisis. Militants stormed the U.S. embassy in Tehran and took 66 Americans captive. The standoff lasted nearly 2 years.
We learned about
Rage
this.
in Washington boiled over. Sanctions slammed down on Iran. U.S. companies were banned from doing business with the new regime. But Mark Rich wasn't bound.
Wait, Operation what? What was the operation called? Operation, they went in. We learned about this the other day. We read about this. I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called.
By politics. He kept trading with Iran, quietly moving shipments of crude under the noses of U.S. authorities.
Eagle Eye, Eagle Claw.
Riskier than the last. Every
Eagle
sale
Claw.
could spark outrage, or worse. This was no longer just business. It was the highest stakes game of his life. A game no one else dared play, but Rich always dared. 4 years after the Iranian Revolution, federal prosecutors in New York were closing in on the biggest case of its kind in U.S. history. Rich was wanted for 65 counts, and each one could mean years of his life spent behind bars, racketeering, wire fraud. His companies had evaded hundreds of millions in taxes. Rich, more than $48 million personally, the largest sum on record. And the most explosive of all, he'd traded oil with Iran, an enemy of the United States. These weren't just crimes that carried punishments. Some were life sentences. For years, Mark Rich had lived on the edge of the law. His company bought and sold crude oil through layers of fake fronts, slipping past sanctions and embargoes as if they didn't exist. From the safety of Switzerland, he seemed untouchable, but to U.S. authorities, he wasn't bending the law. He was outright breaking it. The investigation took years. Agents followed the money, sifting through mountains of documents, tracking shell companies. Finally, they had it. An indictment with 65 criminal counts. If convicted, Mark Rich faced over 300 years in prison. The FBI was ready. This would be their moment. Armed with their evidence, they prepared to storm Rich's Manhattan offices. It would be one of the biggest busts in decades, if they pulled it off. Behind these walls lay the Mark Rich empire. Dozens of agents swarmed in. They kicked down doors, forced open vaults. They moved from room to room, scouring every square inch for even the smallest scrap of evidence. But at the heart of Rich's shadowy empire, there was nothing. There were no ledgers, no contracts, no trace of the crimes they had worked years to uncover. Mark Rich vanished, and with him, so did the evidence. Just
hear me out. If we grow our numbers, the pick and drive prices for low volume penny stocks and make bank. This brother's trying to recreate crypto from the first principles.
days before, he had boarded his private jet. He'd seen the walls closing in, read the charges, calculated the risks, and then he acted. The money was already hidden overseas, the paper trail erased. By the time the FBI raided his office, Rich was back in Switzerland, safe from extradition, protected by the laws of his adopted home. In one bold move, Mark Rich transformed from a billionaire trader to America's most wanted white-collar fugitive, a man the U.S. Justice Department swore they would hunt down. But, as usual, Mark Rich was already 2 steps ahead. If life in exile weighed on Rich's mind, he never showed
AI
it,
script is
not
killing
once.
me, though.
He lived a life of secluded luxury, high in the Swiss Alps, protected by guards and surveillance cameras. He could spend his time throwing lavish parties, striking lucrative new deals, and raising his 3 young daughters with his wife, Denise. Everywhere he went, there were escape routes mapped out. Helicopters and boats were always on standby. He moved across borders almost freely. Multiple passports meant customs officers barely slowed him down. But he was never careless. The FBI tracked him relentlessly. No matter where he went, they were always watching, waiting. And still, Rich kept doing business with anyone who would pay, even America's most hated rival, the Soviet Union. Rich even dared to break the U.S. blockade against communist Cuba, selling directly to Fidel Castro. Each deal enraged Washington. Each shipment mocked U.S. law. Yet the FBI remained powerless to stop him. Rich continued to flaunt his business right under their nose. His audacity became his trademark. It became his calling card. He chased high stakes, where the risks were deadly and the rewards were vast. Oil was the lifeblood of the world, and he held the supply lines. Nations bent to his terms. Entire economies relied on his deals. It was this simple philosophy that had made him a titan of trade. The wealth was staggering, even beyond his own imagination. But while the world saw Rich as untouchable, the man behind the scenes was falling apart. His marriage to Denise was far beyond repair. She filed for divorce. Their daughter, Gabrielle, tragically passed away in 1996 from leukemia. Years of emotional turmoil had taken their toll. The man was broken. Yet the shadow of justice never left him. The FBI's pursuit never stopped. The noose tightened with every year. One mistake, one wrong move, and it would all come crashing down. And then came the twist no one saw coming. A lifeline from the one place he least expected, the Oval Office, January 20th, 2001. George W. Bush is about to take his place as the most powerful man in the Western world. But it isn't Bush who's about to make the headlines. It's his predecessor, Bill Clinton. On Clinton's final day as president, he performed one of his final official acts. In a stack of pardons left on the Resolute desk, among the many names, one would stun the entire Washington establishment, Mark Rich.
What?
With one signature, all 65 federal charges, tax evasion, fraud, and trading with Iran, all disappeared. Just like that, Rich was free. No trial, no prison, no more running. The backlash was immediate. Outrage thundered across both parties.
Dude, what?
Critics said justice had been sold to the highest bidder. Then came the revelations. Rich's ex-wife, Denise, had donated millions to Democratic campaigns. Suddenly, the pardon looked less like mercy and more like payback. This was not some quirk of fate. His name didn't slip through the cracks. It stood out. And for good reason. Rich hadn't spent 2 decades in exile just building an empire of wealth. He had built an empire of influence. And when he needed it most, that network paid off. Denise Rich moved
Dude, what the fuck?
in the highest Democratic circles, with access to Clinton's inner circle. And she wasn't alone. From Jerusalem came even louder voices. Israeli leaders lined up to praise Rich, crediting him with quiet donations that kept charities alive, hospitals running, and Israel supplied during its darkest hours. To them, he wasn't a fugitive, he was a friend. Even Clinton admitted later it was terrible politics. For many Americans, it became one of the most controversial acts of his presidency. But for Mark Rich, none of that mattered. After decades of cat and mouse, he had won with a stroke of a pen. The billionaire fugitive was now untouchable.
Dude, what the fuck was this story?
Rich never returned to America. He would live out the rest of his days in Switzerland, where he had spent so much of his life evading capture by the FBI and forging the empire he once dreamed of. It was there, in his mountain villa overlooking Lake Lucerne, that a stroke finally ended his life. Mark Rich died at the age of 78. Many saw it as justice finally served to one of the most notorious men in recent memory, one who had escaped the law for too long. Yet his story didn't end there. His body was flown to Israel, where he would be laid to rest alongside his beloved daughter, Gabrielle. But even in death, his empire still lived on. The company he built, Mark Rich & Co., became Glencore, today one of the largest commodity giants in the world, moving hundreds of billions in oil, metals, and grain across the globe each year. But Mark Rich left behind more than just his business. He left a life that continues to intrigue, a man whose legacy poses more questions than there are answers. Who was the real Mark Rich? Was he a visionary who changed the world of trade, or a traitor who betrayed the country that gave his family refuge? Did anything matter to him more than money? Mark Rich was a man who thrived in the shadows. He bent markets, nations, even justice itself. He was both admired and despised, untouchable, yet hunted. And in the end, his legacy remains what it always was, a paradox. Mark Rich, the man who changed the rules of global trade.
Dude, what the fuck kind of roller coaster was that story? And yeah, what happened to Pincus, bro? Oh my god, my keyboard doesn't work. Damn, he got pardoned too. Mark Rich pardon. Bill Clinton's last outrage. Holy fuck. Wow. If I could read, that would probably go crazy. 25 years ago. Wow. Insane. That was crazy. He invented spot oil markets. Who knew that? Also, what is this candle? What's going on in the world right now? This is only your 3rd day in the stream, Spy Puts. How? There's no way that's true. I've said your name like 100 times. How's it your 3rd day in the stream? By the way, look at this shit. Nobody buy this. Wait. I don't want to dox the link. Nobody cop this. Nobody cop this. Please, nobody cop this. Let me have it. Let me have it. But look. Look. Well, you can't really read it. Look how tough. Just don't cop it, please. Don't cop it, please. Airstrike on the front. On the back, it says, Palantir demands that you immediately airstrike. All man, destroy all communications within 3 business days and a written total of any third party partners involved. Bro. Wearing this to a liberal campus. Wearing this to the Mondani rally. Let me just check Twitter real quick. Dude, what did I just watch? Holy fuck, that did something to my body. Wow. That was unbelievable. What did we just watch? It was a little bit too stimulating, I think. That was unbelievable. Replay it? I can't. It was like too much. It genuinely was too much. I can't replay it. That was unreal. Goodwill but no trust in the US. Dude, my whole setup is broken. Everything, nothing works. Luke, can you click this? Nothing works. Hyperliquid, please. Hyperliquid. 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 Yeah, click it. Click it. Click it. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes. Bro, click it. Dude. Luke, please click it. You can't click either. Oh my God, we're so fried. Oh, my computer's just frozen. Nothing works. Awesome. No, we're just fried. The whole thing's cooked. All right. On that note, wait, what's the price of oil? I can't even see. Setting it down. I can't click either. How are we gonna end the stream? It's not time yet, but how are we gonna end the stream? We're just stuck on this Rory John. So I can make new tabs, but I can't click old tabs. Oh, okay. Why do I think the US Iran talks are bullish? Here's what I'll tell you. Last take on this is bullish is a crazy word, but I would lean bullish over. If you had to pick a side, You have higher upside, I think, on the bullish, because I think that the market has basically priced in peace once again, even though we have gotten away from peace. And so oil got destroyed. Stocks are basically back to ATH, basically reversed all the negative gains. And I think once again, we're back in the spot of any deviation from peace is going to equal crazy shakeups in the market. And so I don't think there's any RR to shorting oil here. There's maybe some upside to longing. What do you think is max pain? Max pain is, I mean, there's obvious max pain is no peace. And then we go a couple more months on chop or in headline cuck. That's max pain. Like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's obviously max pain. Anyone that thinks that isn't max pain is just wrong. That's max pain. No deal. Market tries to dump. Trump saves it. And then we just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for a couple more months. That is obviously max pain. And so basically a continuation of what has been happening is what I would imagine max pain to be, something like that. But anyways, on that note, it's Friday. I'm leaving. I'm going out. I love you. I appreciate you. There's going to be a huge talk tonight. We'll see what the fuck happens. This was a fun Friday stream. This is a fun Friday stream. I thank you guys for fucking staying here so long. Fridays get a little bit like messy, but next week is going to be a really, really important one. So I love you guys. Thanks for the gifted, brother. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm not going to show the pit. I'm going to gatekeep it for now. I'll be back on Monday, and I will catch you when I catch you. I'll see you. I see you. Have a great rest of your day. Love you, motherfuckers. Peace. Fuck, I can't end, bro. Damn, what am I supposed to do? Small Pepe, Super Bowl. I can't rug. Luke, should I shut on my PC? Bring it back on? It's like so awkward, bro. All right. Bye!